Yeah, get comfy, guys, but don't trip over the wires. Don't trip over the wires. Don't trip over the wires, guys. Like, look up, be careful.
In a previous life, I was a health and safety officer, and I'd be having a fit.
That one single.
Well, like I did warn everyone. Just like there's a wire there, guys.
So what? Who are these figures then we've got?
Well,
so
okay,
you've got Superman.
Right.
Who's this?
So I got Superman. Have a look.
I've got Two-Face.
Like,
I'm happy with that.
do you know who that is?
Is it the Great Showman?
You're the Great Showman.
Hey!
Is that Great Showman?
Yeah.
This is Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox.
Hey!
Yeah,
cool.
like, I was saying to my son before I came out, like, don't grow up. Like, go out and play with your friends and, you know, take your toys with you.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Like the idea.
It's playtime.
And now you've got a new toy as well. This 360 camera.
New toy, 360 camera.
Is that what that is?
So we're in the round. So.
Do you think you're out of shots out here?
Is that really what that is?
Yeah, 360 camera. So first time using this. So I'll edit this both 360 and I'll edit it to be like have your moments as well, so it can be watched normal. But yeah, 360.
Nice.
Yeah, I think
this is definitely. I like this better than the kind of like. I felt quite. I mean, I did the first one, so it was like with me and you going, "What are we going to do then? We're just going to talk shit,"
which we did.
Which we did.
But it's evolved since then and evolved into
leveled up.
Yeah, we're leveling up.
Oh yeah. And can I just say, I feel like I've really missed out on the tradition of the clap.
Yeah, I don't even know where
I didn't have that either.
I don't know where that started.
I was like second episode.
Yeah.
Did you do the clap?
I did the clap.
You did the clap? It doesn't happen like every single time.
I don't think we did the clap, did we?
We didn't do the clap. Okay, so we better do the clap, hadn't we? All right, and let's make this start.
Right,
so basically, we do 3, 2, 1, clap. Okay, and then we're in.
Okay.
So
Don't do that.
3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Jim! Right, let's do it again properly.
No.
We have to do it together.
So I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. I was just for comedic moments.
All right.
You know, comedy's all in
Okay,
the
all right.
it's all in the type of
Back
clap.
in the zone, guys. Back in the zone. Come in, lean in.
All right.
3, 2, 1. There we go. That's the proper start of the podcast.
Reminds me of the drama game. You know, you have to look at each other and clap.
I
know.
do.
And it's just something that's happened. And then someone said to me after one, like, why don't we clap? Like, you're clapping with everyone and not me. So I try and remember to do it every time now. It's become a lovely little tradition. So, you know, this might be a new tradition.
This is lovely. I like this.
Yeah,
I can't believe this is episode 100.
Yes.
That's so mad,
Isn't it?
It is, man.
It's brilliant, is what it is.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed all of the podcasts I've listened to. I haven't listened to all of them because I have a life. But I've tried to listen to as many as I possibly can, and obviously I've listened to all 3 of yours and loved them, and looking forward to listening to yours as well. And there's a few others that I know are coming, which are like, oh, I can't wait for that one now.
Yes, yeah, we're about 6 weeks ahead, so 2 a week for the next 6 weeks. So yeah, about 12 episodes yet to come out. But by this time, anyone watching and joining that have seen these and seen them.
Yeah.
So here we are. We're calling this the circle. This is the circle.
Yeah,
so welcome to the circle.
Also, thank you for
Thank you.
So who have we got? We've got Alex Outlaw.
Hello.
Singer. How would you describe yourself?
Oh, how would I describe myself? I just don't know anymore. Singer, mostly musical theatre and opera, although I'm veering off into country, jazz, pop. I'm just being versatile, like in my life. Calligraphy artist as well. I guess they're mine too.
Did not know that.
Yeah. So I'm a professional calligraphy artist. I work for like proper brands and everything. Yeah, I get paid.
That's awesome.
I know. Pretty cool, right?
Nice.
Very.
Yeah, so that's me.
And
That's
then
who I am.
we've got Jim.
Well, yeah, a builder's entrepreneur, online Santa, speaking coach, theatre producer, director, twat.
Nice.
If you want to,
In that order?
Yeah, no, probably twat first. Yeah. For my sins, your best mate.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know that, but I appreciate that. And Luna Austin.
Oh God, actor, dancer, theatre producer, director, writer, kind of ish, maybe something I enjoy doing. Yeah, entertainer. I'm just kind of enjoy doing all of it. Puppeteer, that's the latest thing. Puppeteering.
Yeah.
That I'm getting more jobs in that area now, which I love, which is great. Barmaid.
She's a great barmaid.
Yeah, that counts.
Barmaid.
Yeah,
oh yeah, barmaid. I've been a barmaid.
Put that to the list. Yeah.
I think
all
that's,
the normal.
is that everyone? Has everyone been a
Yeah,
barmaid at some
yeah,
point?
yeah.
Barmaid.
Kind of staple in this industry, isn't it?
Yeah. Or waitress, waiter.
Dance teacher.
Yeah.
All of the things.
Nice.
Yeah, and buzzing.
What a lovely list.
What a lovely list.
And we've got Ayvianna Snow.
Hello.
Hello. How do you describe yourself and what you do?
I'm an actress.
Actress.
I'm not a multi-hyphenate. You've all got multiple jobs. I think.
It's more of a necessity.
Yeah.
No, I'm underwhelming. I've only got one job.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that you've got your union.
I'm an equity rep as well. Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we've all got to suck up to you then.
Yeah. Oh, you'll be in huge trouble.
Yeah. It's actually the other way around. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Is there the danger, or do you look up? You're out to look after people, aren't you?
Exactly. Yeah. I
Yeah.
have to suck up to you. So you won't vote for me. It's actually that's the way around it. Well, I serve the people.
And we've got Niall Phillips as well.
So
Welcome, Niall.
An agent at IAP, and I run Lonesome Workshops, which is an acting workshop company, which is in London and it's in New York. That's what I do.
Nice.
Those two things.
Nice. They're two quite big things.
I was just going to say, successful at it as well.
Well, I don't know. We discussed this last time. I don't really sit very well in success because I think it'll be destroyed. So I still think it's all like doing its thing. But yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, like I say, welcome all of you to the circle, to the first one. I'm very excited to see all your lovely faces and to have you all here. So with this circle, how I feel like this is going to work, I feel it's quite important to say this is a safe space. I invited you lot because I thought you're all quite like-minded individuals. They're all people that I feel like I can trust, and I feel like I'll bring you together and you can find some trust and connection together. And I feel like we can also maybe challenge each other on the way that we think a little bit. So I feel like we're a good group to be able to express how we feel and talk about the things that we think about and do. But if there's something there you want to challenge on, then speak up. It's an open floor. It's not kind of like we've done this before, one at a time. It's if you want to speak and you've got something to add, then join in. Yeah.
I don't really. I've never thought about challenging people.
Okay.
The one thing though I wanted to do, because actually, whilst me and Luna have known each other for a little while, I think this is possibly the second or third time we've actually been in the same room together to chat.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where we know each other through other people, and we keep kind of like missing each other.
Yeah,
like bumping into each other and just be like.
Our main connection is your boyfriend, Danny.
Yeah.
So I used to do birthday parties with Danny for youth creators parties, which is Kelly, who by the time people have listened to this will have heard Kelly talk about youth creators parties. And the first time I met Luna was dropping Danny off after a party, and you started laughing there, yeah. So me and Danny are doing a party. It's one of the hottest days of the year in Hertford. And Danny has got to get back to his house because Luna is going to drive them to rehearsal after a party, which is in like Dunmore or somewhere like that, was it? And stupidly hot day. And to get from Hertford to Danny's house, we had to cut through this little hamlet, Stansted Abbots. And as you come out of Stansted Abbots to get to where Danny lives, there's a really steep hill. And we got caught up this really steep hill. The traffic had stopped. And we're kind of peering over what's happened. And somebody's been knocked off their motorcycle. And there's been like an incident. And people are struggling to get this motorbike off the road so they can clear and make sure. And Danny has got just the biggest, sweetest heart. And he said, do you think we should get out and help? And I said, no, Danny, we're not getting out to help. 2 reasons. 1, you're dressed as Spider-Man. And 2, I'm dressed as Thor. We are not becoming a meme. We are not getting out the car. As much as you want to help, this ain't happening. We're just going to kind of let them get on with it. So then we kind of get back and tell Luna the story. But my favourite story with Danny on parties was Youth Creative just got this Iron Man suit, and they bought it off a sort of like a fan who was doing cosplay and stuff like that. And it was quite a bulky suit. And again, I don't know why, but it was like one of the hottest days of that year as well.
It seems to be a recurring thing, doesn't it?
And they hadn't quite worked out whether they were going to do Iron Man as a full-on character who did the 2-hour party, or whether he was just going to be an appearance. So you kind of come on near the end, go, oh, hello, and stuff like that. After this party, we discovered that it was definitely going to be an appearance, because I was going to pass out at one point. It was so hot inside the suit. The kids had all gone off to have a break. It was a party at somebody's house. It was quite a big house. And instead of having like lunch or whatever, they went off and had ice creams. They had the parents had organised an ice cream van to turn up and give them all ice creams, which gave me a chance to have a breather and some water. And when I came back to join the party, Danny, dressed as Spider-Man again, was reading out from like a Marvel book of characters. And so he was like trying to find out if the kids knew about the characters and stuff like that, and shout out certain answers to questions. And he turned the page, and it was Thor. And Danny went, does anybody know the name of Thor's hammer? And the little boy put his hand up at the back, and he went, and Danny went, yeah. And he said, is it vagina? And Danny being Danny, he was just like, not quite. It kind of sounds similar, but it's actually Monia. Whereas I am probably making Iron Man look like he's having a malfunction because I'm going like that in the suit. But yeah, so that's my two stories of doing parties with Danny. But
Luna,
Danny,
you don't know
Danny has told me about your story about being Ariel.
Oh God, yeah, it's about I can kind of talk about this now because the company that I've worked for has closed now. It was called Play People. It was a brilliant company to work for, but they've closed down now, which means I can tell this story, which is great. I was hired, and you know when you guys probably have similar things of being in this industry. Moments when you just kind of go, it's like an out of body experience where you just suddenly go, what the fuck am I doing? Like we do some very strange things in this industry, don't we? But there was a day where I kind of thought to myself, I was like, I've completely fucked up my life. Like, what the fuck is going on? So I was similar thing, working as a children's entertainer, and I was hired for a party. And it was only a visit at someone's house. So it was like half an hour, maybe an hour maximum. And my boss said to me, it's a really interesting one. It's actually for a woman, and she doesn't realise she's about to get engaged. So her fiance has planned this idea that they're going to have a family party. And to entertain the kids, they've invited Ariel, who is his future fiance's favourite Disney princess. And she's going to come along, and whilst you're distracting her and the kids, he's going to get ready to propose. She's going to turn around. It's going to be magical. I was like, how lovely. I was naive. So I get dressed up. I don't know whether or not you all know Ariel. She's a mermaid. She's a mermaid, and rather than wearing her ball gown dress, it was requested that she appeared as a mermaid. So like, great. The only trouble with this costume is it's very naked. It's a bra and a tail, like a long, sparkly sequin tail. So I turn up to this flat in Harlow, in the middle of nowhere, on a random weekday around lunchtime, and I'm thinking to myself as I'm getting there, this is something not quite adding up about this. And I turn up to the flat, and it turns up it's like the top floor. I was like, okay, there's not really any cars around. Like I thought it was going to be a big part. Fair enough. So I go upstairs, bearing in mind, very naked, and I find the flat number and I can't hear any music. I'm like, okay. So I knock on the door, and this guy opens the door. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're right. I was like, oh, I must have the wrong house, that's fine. I was like, oh, yes, in my Ariel character, I was like, oh, yes, I'm here for the birthday party, I'm here for the party. He's like, oh yeah, she's through here. Oi, Gemma. I've changed the name, obviously. So I walk through, and he kind of pops his head round what I then find out is the living room. And he's like, oi, Gemma, I've got a surprise for you. And here she is. And I walk in fully in character because I'm nothing if not committed. Dressed as, just to paint the picture, big red wig, big sequin tail, bubbles blowing out of my little bag that I've got, music blowing out of my little speaker that's like da 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 da. I've got my arms going and everything. Walk through the door, and there's no one there. It's just this woman and what turns out to be her best friend sat on a sofa like this, both in their pajamas, looking at me like, what the fuck is going on? So I assess the situation quite quickly, and I'm thinking, okay, what do I do? There's no kids here. Do I break character? No, you must never break character. Never break character. Like, you don't know the situation. You've been hired to be Ariel. This is what you must do. And I'm like, I just make a quick assessment in my head. And I'm not very good under stress. As an actor, you'd think I would be. But what tends to happen when I'm under stress, I panic and just go full throttle into a situation. I don't reverse. I just talk. I just blag. I just go completely over the top. So I'm like, hello, I heard it's your party today, and oh my goodness, it's amazing, and look at your wonderful pajamas, and aren't they fantastic, and oh my goodness, this is so wonderful. And I'm fully committing to this. As they're staring at me, one of them's got a fag as well, she's like...
I'm imagining like Wayne at a slob. That's
honestly.
Kind of
so, and I'm thinking to myself, I've got to be here for at least like half an hour or 40 minutes.
Oh,
what do I do? So I'm like, okay, I was like, oh, so it's wonderful. How have you spent your birthday so far? She was like, here. Marvelous. And how do you intend to spend the rest of your day? And her partner goes on her back, I suppose. I was like, okay, this is rapidly going downhill. So I'm kind of still stood there.
Palpitations at the moment.
I know, it was a lot. So
I'm worried about where this is going. We got to like.
I was like, is this like a sex trafficking thing? I was like, what's going to happen here? I was like, I am naked in someone's apartment. Clearly, this is not going well. So I'm like, oh, and this is your friend. Who's your friend? And she's like, Abby. And I'm like, oh, it's wonderful to meet you, Abby. And I'm really hamming it up. And finally, the guy kind of indicates that it's time for him to have the surprise. I'm like, thank fuck. So I look around the room and I notice that bless him, he's tried to decorate the room like it's under the sea. It's very sparse and very haphazard. There's a few plastic fish hanging from the ceiling, and there's like a fishing net over their bookcase, which looks suspiciously like cut up fishnet tights that's been like stretched. It was all very like random like plastic seashells and all sorts. And he's like, oh, right, Gemma, do you notice anything about this room? She's like, yeah, you've hung some dead fish from the ceiling. I'm like, da, 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 in the corner, like still with my bubble machine, still going for it. And he was like, yeah, but what about over there? She's like, oh, you've got some like plastic Barbie shit over there. He was like, no, but that one there. She's like, it's a pink plastic seashell. And this interaction's going on forever. And he says, well, go and get it. She gets up, picks up this plastic seashell, opens it, and there's a ring inside. So I'm like, thank God, this is nearly over. And I'm like, what romantic gesture is he going to do? This is his moment where he's going to propose. And he's standing about as far away as me and Martin are now. And she opens the thing, looks up at him, and he goes, that's for you, that is. And then silence for such a long time. And me, being my fucking awkward self, I was like, I can't deal with silences. So I was like, so is that a yes then? And they both look at me like they want to kill me, like just death stare. And they both look at me and go, of course it's a fucking yes.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, well, it's really time for me to be getting back to the ocean now because, I don't have this tail for very long and I need to talk to King Triton. And, well, I hope you have a lovely time. Goodbye now, goodbye. And for all my work, exit like this with my fishtail arms. And I get outside, I'm like, what the ever-loving fuck just happened? I phone my boss and I'm like, please never do that again. Please never send me somewhere again. She went, oh, we've just got an email from them saying that they want you at the wedding party. I was like, fuck off. I was like, piss off. But yeah, so that was the worst party I've ever done. I'm probably forgetting certain details about that story, but that was the main bulk of it. But yeah, Danny and I often say to each other, if we bought each other something from the shops, he goes, that's for you, that is.
Nice. I think that's a really good point. People don't realise how dangerous acting and modelling is for women, because you do get these weird emails, and like I used to get a lot of stuff through Mandy, and I also do modelling through Purple Port, and you do get messages saying be at this place at this time, and you don't know what you're walking into. And most of the time it's fine, but occasionally it isn't. And there's kind of,
you're putting a lot of trust in strangers.
Yeah, meeting strangers, often in a part of town that you don't know the area. You might be not near a tube station. There's no guidance as to how do I get out of this situation. Like you were saying about, should I break character? But you're trained to not break character. But then I think probably you should have really, because your safety is paramount.
How did that make you feel?
I was so uncomfortable, and I was quite young at the time. So I'm 26 now, but I've been working for this company for like 7 years. And when I first started, I was still a teenager, and like essentially I was like 18, 19, which is still really young. I know it's legal, but it's still not in the realms of knowing yourself. And I'm very good now, like I've done the work in therapy and all sorts about knowing my worth, and that it's okay to say no to things, and and knowing my value. But certainly when you first enter the industry, you're kind of taught you need to do anything.
You're taught to please, and the younger you are, the harder it is to say actually no.
It's funny you say that about like modelling and things like that. One of the first jobs I ever got through Mandy was, on paper it just looked like a very professional photography shoot, and as we kind of went further and further down the line, it was like a one-man band who was taking shots in his parents' attic for a bikini photo shoot, and I was like, no thank you, actually I think I'm busy on that day. But it's so easily done, and I know people who have and obviously I won't name names, but I know people who have had experiences, awful experiences, where a situation has got out of control before they've even realised how far down the line they are. And then it's like you say, you're taught to please. As an actor, your job is essentially to create a character to please other people.
As an acting coach, Niall, how do you feel about that? Someone that you've got these actors, you get these actors in a room, and you're an acting coach, but then you also send people out there as an agent as well. Yeah. So how do you feel hearing these kind of like horror stories, aren't they? How do you feel that? Do you send them out in that way?
It's mad, isn't it? Because there's such an element of trust in this whole thing. Like in the workshops, there has to be. You used that word safe space before. There's loads of people just use that term, don't know what it means. And like being an artist, like you said then, like I don't think it's a gender thing, I think it's an artist thing. Like you're so vulnerable.